Today we're turning this
Triceratops
into this.
Triceratops.
So here I am in all this light on my desktop. This is me yelling the name of the Triceratops dinosaurs. You can see all lovely, nice and here. So we've done a few different morphs on this channel. There was the morph in Redemption, which I wasn't a massive fan of, and I did remaster it. Unfortunately, not actually in the film, but there we go. There was the morphs in Tyrannosaurus, and there's also the morphs in the original Power Rangers film that we were going to do, which never saw the light of day. They're all different, but also all kind of similar at the same time. I'm only going to show you how to do I'm going to show you how to do a version which is pretty much like all of them, because once you understand the tools and the way we did it, it can be used in any, because the background, the energy that's in the background of us in Tyrannosaurus, exactly the same. It's done in the exact same way as the power coin bursting out of the morpher in Redemption. So yeah, let's go. So here I am from Tyrannosaurus. There's no color grading or nothing. That's why it looks a bit flat. But yeah, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna line it up. So
Triceratops.
there we go. I didn't want you hearing me twice. So yeah, so this is roughly when I start speaking. So this is what we're going to do. First of all, I'm going to show you how we did the Mastodon emblem, but it's also on, obviously in this case, the Triceratops, but it's also what we had on in the background. So what I'm going to do, this is our footage, I'm going to pull up this image of a blue power coin. Now, I'm just going to chuck this on top. This photo is not needed in any way other than just to trace from. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a new solid. You can call it whatever, just call it coin, whatever. And then you're going to search for Saber. Now Saber is a free plugin. You can go download that if you like. Obviously there's other ways around it, but this is how we did it. You can choose anything. Obviously it's already in the color blue, which is great. For the Mastodon we kind of just made like a kind of darkish purple, but blue will be fine. I'll make it this shade of blue. So that's all good, that's all cool. You can change what it was. I think we used either Tesseract or Velocity, but again, you know, you can use that. I think I'll go with Tesseract for now. I'll change the color to make it a bit brighter again. We're then going to go to Customize Core and change the core type from Saber to Layer Mask. So if we then turn this to a screen layer, we can then kind of just outline this. It can be very rough because it's going to be distorted anyway. And if, as you can see, evidently, the Saber follows the mask. So if you just do that again, it can be rough because you're going to distort it all anyway. And there we are. You've just created a circle. It is that simple. And yeah, you just follow that. So you can change the size of the core and so forth, you know, and then you can kind of have a more refined look at what it is you're doing. And then obviously you can change the glow and everything on it, just so that, you know, whether you want it to be really intense so you can't even see it, or if you want it to be slightly glowing, or, you know, it's completely down to you. It does get harder if you have quite a lighter background. Obviously you can't see it that well. Obviously if I change the color to, you get the idea. But yeah, I'll keep it as a kind of mediocre toned blue. The more I turn down the glow, the easier it is for you to make out the shape. So it's up to you what you do with that. And again, like I said, just change these around if you like. I think Tesseract is what we had used before. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. Maybe it was Velocity. It looks like it was Velocity. So we'll go to where I shout Triceratops. So just right there. I'll open this up like that. Line it up over the top as neatly as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect because obviously it's going to be exploding out in a second. Just clip it down to there. Now this is what we're going to do. We are going to start tracking this now. In Redemption, it was a little bit harder because it actually moved around a lot more and then it got pulled inwards. So you might have to do a bit of hand tracking, but that's all chill. So make a new null object. Edit the target and target it to the null, because you always want to do a null and not the objects. If you need to change things, you can. It's a lot easier. And we only need the position. We don't need no rotation or scaling, because my hand is staying very stationary. So yeah, we'll play forward and see how it goes. There we go. So the tracking was successful. So we can now click apply to this layer, and now the null is tracked to the power coin. All we got to do then, turn on this this asset, track it to the null, and then
Triceratops!
it is all tracked. Now, I've never done one that looks like this. It actually looks pretty cool. So if you guys wanted to just keep it like that, I'm pretty sure you get a pretty cool morphing effect if you just added like kind of fade in. If I did like a little
Triceratops!
just add a little easy ease to that.
Triceratops!
Yeah, that doesn't look that bad. So if you wanted to just leave it at that, you could. I wouldn't really suggest it. I'd say kind of, you know, add a little bit more. And this is what we're going to do. So we're going to get our scale. We're going to keyframe it. And then we're going to go ahead a tiny bit. Scale it up. Make sure to add motion blur. And make sure it's on for the layered as well. And for the comp, if you want to add some easies, you can.
Triceratops!
And it kind of just explodes out. Now you can adjust where it's going and everything.
Triceratops!
But there we are, yeah. So there we are. That's the kind of effect of it bursting out.
Triceratops!
Obviously, it cuts straight into that, but it's moving so quick that you can't see the quick snap, and it just looks like it kind of generates out. It's pretty cool, and it stays attached to the morpher. So even though it's not moving that much, it's, you know, it's pretty cool. Obviously, be aware of if you're adding like any sort of black bars, it might definitely affect how much you see of the glow. But yeah, so now I'm just going to add some extra spice around it. So this comes in the form of shockwaves. Now there are lots of free shockwave assets out there if you go looking for them. I have the Infinity Pack. Me and some guys from college chipped in so we could all get it when it was on a sale, which is really great. And it comes with a really nice collection of shockwaves. So I'm just going to use a few shockwaves that I've got. You can just kind of do whatever you want with this. If I just line these up.
Triceratops!
So that kind of explodes out with it, and what I can do is that I can add a glow. I have optical glow, but you can use whatever glow you want, or if not, just a tinted tool with a brightness and contrast. That'll work. But I like to add an optical glow just because, no, it's a really cool plugin, and it works for quite a lot. So if
Triceratops!
look at this, it kind of comes out with a nice little shockwave.
Triceratops!
If like energy is bursted up with it. Pretty cool. And then I'll add some more shockwaves, just ones that kind of expand outwards as opposed to in a bubble. So the last Mighty Morphin Month episode had me morphing at the start, and I added things like smoke and lightning zaps, so you can do that all the same as well. Something that we did in Tyrannosaurus, the original film, and in the video from last week, I did add a lens flare to this. I haven't added it this time just because we have the Triceratops, and if we had a big white light behind it, then you're not going to see it very well. But that's something you can do as well, where you can, if you want to add some lightning, you can have that come out, and then if I create a new solid and call it bolt, you can kind of just get some nicely coloured lightning bolts, and we don't need them for that long at all. So what I can do is I can just cut this down, create a mask, kind of make a lightning bolt shape, go 1, 2, 3, cut the keyframe, delete the mask, one, 2, 3. And then you just have these nice little sparks of lightning. You can add as many in as you like. And like I said, everything I'm doing here are just literally just steps in how to do any form of morph that you've ever seen us do. So I'll quickly turn this one into the one from Tyrannosaurus. Literally, all you have to do is get the bottom layer, and then I just pre-compose this and call it bottom, because it's the bottom layer. All I have to do, wait for it to start expanding outwards, which is here. Duplicate the layer, bring it right to the top, and then you can do this in whatever way you want. You can use the rotor brush, or you can rotoscope it. Just remove yourself from the background. Now this does take some time. Luckily I'm quite stationary, so it wouldn't take too long for me to take myself out of the scene. You have to be very patient with it, obviously. But yeah, just kind of skim through it. If like I said again, if the camera's moving a lot, or if you're moving a lot, then you definitely will have to take into consideration the keyframes a little bit more. But as long as you're not moving too much, then you should be okay to just kind of jump a few frames, gonna go through, because again, the glow and all the lightning, all the flash effects, it's gonna cover things up quite a bit. So, and also be careful with hair as well. As you can see, my hair's tied back, so it's a little bit easier, but you still get the bits around the edges. But you know, you're not gonna see that very well anyway, so it's all okay. So hopefully now all of that just opens up behind me, and as you can see, you have got all this grain. But if you just feather it out, and then also do some shift there, just play around with the features, see what works best for you. If I do it this way, so if I bring down the shift edge, I get this nice kind of glow around outside of me, and this is a lot like the Ismahawk version and also the Unworthy version, which is pretty cool. So then you have it exploding out behind you, and then yeah, ours was a bit more distorted, which you can very easily do. So if I just get this, which is the coin, oop, there we are. There's the wires, the wire frame of it all. Literally, just add a Turbulent Displace. Apply that, and then you can make it as distorted as you please. You can make it form in this way, form in that way. If you want to add, you know, a subtle just complexity to it, change the size in, you know, it is completely up to you. With the lens flare, you can either add a lens flare here. All I did, created a new solid, made it a white. I'll call it front. I just blocked it off here, masked around the inside of the morpher. I think I specifically did the coin, but either way, the morpher will be fine. Apply it, feather it out nicely, and then literally I just added layer styles, outer glow. Change the outer glow to a blue. And then yeah, you change the size of the glow, change how much it spreads out. It is completely up to you, and obviously apply it to null 1 just so that it tracks to the morpher. And yeah.
Triceratops!
Kind of a white bubble, or obviously again, if you want to use a lens flare, I use optical flares. So if I get rid of the mask, you could take whatever type of lens flare you desire to play about with it. And then especially with this, if you want to add this in, you can set
Triceratops!
so that
Triceratops!
beaming energy left, right, and center. It looks really cool, and it's something that you can just do,
Triceratops!
on a whim, and it just does it for you.
Triceratops!
It is completely up to you. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this turbulent displacement off, and I think what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to alter the size so that it explodes up a bit more, just because I feel like we're not getting the best use of it. And yeah,
Triceratops! Triceratops!
Energy surge. What you can also do then, if you want, you can get a shockwave, bring it to the top so that that's what's bursting out of your morpher. And yeah, there we go.
Triceratops! Triceratops!
We can then do, if you want, you can get an adjustment layer, and you can just add some color correction, add some black bars, make it all look. If you wanted to make it look
Triceratops!
extra special, obviously then you gotta account for your color and how everything's being applied. But obviously, you know, I'm using the John Wick 3 lookup table. You can use whatever you want, and you'll get different results each time. Like, for example, this is a really nice one, and just look at the difference it makes. Like,
Triceratops!
It just adds a lot more depth to your scene.
Triceratops!
So that is how you do the Film Foam Studios Power Ranger Morph. But again, obviously, tweak some things and adjust things. You can make it like any other creator you've seen.
Triceratops!
So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were really nicely enlightened by this cool editing trick on how to morph into a Power Ranger, like most fan films are doing nowadays. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.